Finding you here in the soft blue light of this new dawn feels like a gift, a quiet moment shared between souls who are both seeking the same light at Miracle Prayer Studio. If your heart feels at home in this stillness, I would be so honored if you chose to stay with us by subscribing, so we can continue to walk this path of faith together, one morning at a time, finding strength in the silence and grace in the gathering of our spirits before the Lord. I'm talking to you today from a place of shared vulnerability, standing right beside you in that space where the day feels a bit too big and our own strength feels a bit too small. We often wake up and immediately reach for our worries, as if they were the clothes we have to wear, but I want us to look at each other and remember that we don't have to figure it all out before our feet even touch the floor. Sometimes the most profound thing we can do is admit that we are lost, not because we lack direction, but because we have finally realized that our own maps are too small for the journey God has planned. You and I, we are just travelers looking for a hand to hold in the dark, and there is such a beautiful, quiet peace in finally stopping the frantic search for answers and just sitting in the presence of the one who is the answer. Let's think about how often we try to carry the weight of tomorrow before we've even finished the breath of today, and how much heavier that makes our steps. I'm reaching out to you because I believe that in this very moment, as the world begins to stir, there is a specific clarity meant just for you. Not a loud or demanding revelation, but a gentle nudge that says, I am here and you are mine. In Proverbs 3:5-6, we are gently urged to let go of what weighs us down and stop relying on what we think we know with the promise, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. These words aren't just a suggestion, they are a soft place for a tired mind to land, reminding us that our understanding is a fragile reed, while his truth is a foundation that never shifts, no matter how the winds of life might blow. My dear Lord, as I sit with these words from Proverbs, I feel the tension leaving my shoulders, realizing that you never asked me to understand everything. You only asked me to trust you. I see now that my own understanding is often clouded by my fears, my past mistakes, and the noise of a world that tells me I have to be the master of my own fate. But today, I want to trade that heavy burden for the lightness of your grace. Father in heaven, I want to open my heart to you now, pulling back the curtains of my soul to let your light into those dusty corners where I've hidden my doubts and my secret anxieties. To enter into communion with you is to breathe for the first time in a long time, to stop the inner monologue of what if and if only, and start the holy, quiet dialogue of simply being present in your love. My King, help me to focus my attention entirely on your face, letting the concerns of the world fade into a dull hum in the background as I listen for your voice. I want to be so focused on your goodness that the obstacles in front of me look small in comparison to the God who stands behind me. And I want this conversation we are having to be the most real, the most grounding thing about my entire day. I offer you this day, my dear Lord, not just the parts that I've planned out and feel good about, but the messy, uncertain, and quiet moments that I usually try to hide from everyone, including myself. Everything I am, everything I have, and every person I love, I place into your hands, knowing that your grip is much more secure than mine could ever be, and your heart is much kinder than I can imagine. Jesus, I give you my morning coffee, my commute my difficult conversations, and my moments of rest, asking that you would move through them all like a gentle, cleansing wind. I surrender my need to be right, my need to be seen, and my need to be in control, finding my true identity simply in being your child, walking through a world you created with such care and such purpose. Father, I am so deeply grateful for the breath in my lungs and the fact that your mercies didn't run out while I was sleeping in the dark. Thank you for the gift of a fresh start, a clean slate where the failures of yesterday are washed away by the grace of this new sunrise, and for the way you never look at me with disappointment, but always with a love that invites me to try again. My King, please forgive me for the times I've acted as though you weren't there, making decisions in a vacuum of my own making and forgetting to ask for your input. I am sorry for the moments I've allowed my temper to flare or my heart to grow cold toward those you love, and I ask that you would soften me today, making me more like you in the way I respond to the world around me. Jesus, I pray for a peace that doesn't make sense to the world, a stillness that remains even when the storm is raging outside my window and the demands of life are shouting for my attention. I ask for the strength to stand tall when I feel like crumbling, not because I am powerful, but because you are my rock. And I pray that your guidance would be so clear that I can't help but follow the path you've set. Father in heaven, please bring healing to the places in me that are still tender, the wounds I don't talk about but that still dictate how I walk and how I love. I ask for your wisdom to flow into my mind, giving me the words to say when I am at a loss, and the silence to keep when words would only cause harm. And I ask for your protection over my family, my home, and my spirit. My dear Lord, I lift up my work and my children to you, asking that you would be the invisible thread that holds everything together when things feel like they are unraveling. May my labor today be a form of worship, and may my relationships reflect the kindness you have shown me as I walk forward with peaceful confidence, knowing that every single step I take is ordered by your infinite love. My King, I find such comfort in the thought that I don't have to shout to be heard, that you are so close that even my unspoken sighs are a prayer in your ears. I want to live this day in a constant state of awareness, noticing the small miracles you've tucked away in the ordinary moments, like the way the light hits a leaf or the unexpected smile of a stranger. And I want to thank you for each one. Father, as I move from this quiet space into the activity of the day, let my heart stay anchored in this peace we have built together in the stillness. I am not asking for a life without challenges, but for a heart that is so full of you that no challenge can empty it. And I place my trust in you, my shepherd and my friend, as I begin this journey today. Jesus, thank you for being the clarity when things are blurry and the purpose when things feel meaningless and heavy. I am ready to walk in faith, not because I know exactly where I'm going, but because I know who is leading me. And that is more than enough for my soul today and for all the days to come. The morning is unfolding, and sometimes the initial peace we find in prayer can start to feel challenged by the reality of our responsibilities. We're standing on the threshold of the day together, and I want to remind you that the grace you felt 10 minutes ago is still just as abundant now as you prepare to step out into the world. Sometimes, the hardest part of faith isn't the big yes we give to God in the morning, but the 1,000 little yeses we have to give throughout the day when things get difficult. I want to encourage you that your purpose isn't found in a destination, but in the very act of walking with Him, step by step, through the mundane and the magnificent alike, knowing He is right there. My dear Lord, as the world begins to wake up and the noise level rises, I ask that you would keep a quiet sanctuary within my heart, where we can still speak. I offer you the pressure I feel to perform and the anxiety I carry about meeting everyone's expectations, asking that you would replace them with the simple joy of being yours, regardless of what I achieve or fail to achieve today. I surrender my timeline to you, realizing that your slow is often your perfect, and that your timing is never late. I give you the frustrations I feel when things don't go according to my plan, and I ask for the grace to see your hand in the delays, trusting that you are protecting me from things I cannot see and preparing me for things I cannot yet handle. My King, I am so grateful for the way you provide for my needs, often before I even realize I have them or know how to ask. Thank you for the roof over my head, the food on my table, and the community of believers who walk this road with me. And I thank you for the beauty of creation that reminds me of your vastness and your incredible attention to every detail. Jesus, please forgive me for my lack of faith when the bank account is low or when the news from the world is concerning and frightening. I am sorry for letting my circumstances dictate my joy instead of letting your promises dictate my peace. And I ask that you would help me to keep my eyes fixed on your eternal truth rather than my temporary struggles. Father, I ask for a special measure of patience today for those who might test me or push me to my limits. Help me to see them through your eyes, recognizing the hidden pain they might be carrying that makes them act out, and give me the strength to respond with a soft word rather than a sharp tongue, reflecting your mercy in every interaction I have. I pray for clarity in my decisions today, both the large ones that feel heavy and the small ones that seem insignificant. If there is a path I am not supposed to take, I ask that you would block it clearly. And if there is a step I am afraid to take, I ask that you would give me a holy boldness to move forward, knowing that you are already there, waiting for me. Jesus, I entrust my health and my energy to you, asking that you would sustain me throughout the day when I feel my strength fading. When I feel weary, remind me that your strength is made perfect in my weakness. And when I feel overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I, where I can find a moment of rest in the shadow of your wings. Father in heaven, I pray for my loved ones who are starting their days in different places and with different burdens. Protect their minds from the lies of the enemy and their bodies from harm. And may they feel a sense of your presence so strongly today that it changes the way they see their own challenges, drawing them closer to your heart. My King, I ask that you would use my life as a vessel of your light today in ways I might not even realize. Whether it's through a kind word, a job well done, or a prayer whispered in secret for a stranger, let everything I do point back to your goodness, so that others might see a glimpse of your love through the way I carry myself. As I prepare to close this time of focused prayer and enter the flow of the day, I thank you for the assurance that you never leave the conversation. You are with me in the silence, in the noise, in the work, and in the rest. And I am so deeply blessed to be called your child, today and every day. Jesus, I place my hand in yours and take this first step into the day with a heart full of hope and a spirit at rest. Whatever comes my way, I know that you are for me, you are with me, and you are leading me toward a purpose that is good and true. And for that, I give you all my love and my praise. My Father, help me to remember that my worth is not found in my productivity, but in your presence. When the world tries to tell me I am not enough, let your voice be the loudest one I hear, reminding me that I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and that you have called me by name to walk this specific path with you. Jesus, I surrender the outcomes of my efforts to you, knowing that I can plant and water, but only you can give the growth. I choose to work with excellence, but without anxiety, trusting that you will take my small offerings and multiply them for your glory and the good of those around me. Father in heaven, as I go out, keep my heart soft and my spirit alert to the needs of others. Let me be your hands and feet in a world that is often cold and lonely, and may I never be too busy to stop for the one you put in my path, showing them the same grace you have so lavishly poured out on me this morning. My King, I rest in the truth that you are the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end of my day. I don't have to fear the middle because you are already in the finish, and I thank you for the peace that comes from knowing my life is hidden with Christ in God. Jesus, I love you and I trust you with every heartbeat and every footstep I take today. May your name be honored in my thoughts, my words, and my actions as I walk in faith, finding clarity and purpose in every single step of this beautiful journey. Walking through this life sometimes feels like trying to read a book in the twilight, where the edges of the words are soft and the meaning feels just out of reach. But there is a profound comfort in knowing we aren't reading alone. I'm leaning in close to you now because I believe that our prayers are like threads in a great, invisible tapestry. And when we pray for one another, those threads pull tight, making us stronger than we could ever be on our own. We often carry our burdens in secret, tucked away in the pockets of our hearts, but in this shared space, we can finally let them breathe, recognizing that my clarity is tied to yours, and your peace is a gift to me. Let's hold this moment together, not as strangers, but as fellow travelers who have decided that the road is much less frightening when we acknowledge the light reflected in each other's eyes. My dear Lord, as I stand in this quiet morning, I want to lift my gaze beyond my own front door and think of the millions of souls waking up to a world that feels vast and sometimes cold. I bring before you my brothers and sisters who are starting their day with a sigh instead of a song, those who feel the weight of the world before they even open their eyes. Father in heaven, I think specifically of the person sitting on the edge of their bed right now, staring at a floor that feels like it's shifting beneath them. Please wrap your arms around the one who is facing a diagnosis, the one who is mourning a love that has faded, and the one who is simply tired of the constant struggle to make ends meet. Jesus, you know the names of the lonely who have no one to share their morning coffee with, and I ask that you would be the warmth in their kitchen and the peace in their thoughts. For the elderly who feel forgotten and the young who feel misunderstood, let your presence be a tangible thing, a soft whisper that tells them they are seen, they are known, and they are deeply loved. I pray for the parents who are waking up early to care for children with special needs, for those who are worried about their teenagers' choices, and for the ones who are desperately trying to build a future out of very little. Give them a double portion of your patience and a clarity that cuts through the exhaustion, showing them the beauty in the small, chaotic moments of their lives. My dear Lord, I lift up the leaders and the decision makers, asking that you would humble their hearts and sharpen their vision to see the needs of the vulnerable. Let justice flow like a river through our streets, and let kindness be the language we speak to one another, even when we disagree, so that your kingdom might be glimpsed in the way we treat the stranger at our gate. I bring to you the workers who feel like their labor is invisible, the ones who clean the offices, drive the buses, and stock the shelves while the rest of us are still dreaming. Let them feel a sense of dignity in their hands today, knowing that every honest act of service is a prayer in motion, and that you see the value in every single task they perform for the good of others. Jesus, I pray for the healers, the nurses, and the doctors who are already weary from the night's work, asking that you would sustain their spirits and keep their hearts tender. In the sterile halls of hospitals, let your grace be a healing balm, and in the quiet rooms of hospices, let your peace be a bridge that carries both the weary and the worried toward a place of rest. I declare today that I trust in your sovereignty, even when the world seems to be spinning out of control and the news is filled with shadows. I affirm that you are still on the throne, that your love is the final word, and that no matter what the day brings, I am safely tucked within the hollow of your hand, protected and cherished. My dear Lord, I believe that you are working all things together for good, even the pieces of my life that look like broken glass right now. I choose to trust that the delays I face are your protection, and the closed doors I encounter are your redirection, leading me toward a purpose that is far greater than any plan I could have drafted for myself. I surrender my need to see the whole staircase before I take the first step, choosing instead to trust the hand that is leading me. I find my rest in the truth that you are already in my tomorrow, preparing the way, and that your grace will be there, waiting for me, just as it was waiting for me when I woke up this morning. Jesus, I entrust my reputation, my successes and my failures into your care, letting go of the ego that demands I be the hero of my own story. I want you to be the center, the focus, and the hero, while I simply follow in your wake, grateful to be part of the work you are doing in the world and in my own heart. I offer you the very rhythm of my heart today, asking that it would beat in sync with your compassion for the broken and your zeal for the truth. I surrender my voice to you, asking that my words would be seasoned with grace, and that I would know when to speak up for the silent and when to be silent for the sake of peace. My dear Lord, as I prepare to walk out into the light of this day, I ask that you would not just go before me, but that you would walk beside me, shoulder to shoulder. I don't want to outrun you in my haste, nor do I want to lag behind in my fear. I simply want to keep pace with your spirit, moving through the hours with a quiet confidence that only comes from you. Be my clarity when the fog of decision-making rolls in, and be my strength when the uphill climb feels a bit too steep for my weary legs. Let your joy be my fuel, and let your peace be my compass, so that every step I take, whether it's across a boardroom or across a living room, is a step taken in faith and filled with your divine purpose. Jesus, stay with me when the sun is high and the day is busy, reminding me to breathe and to remember that I am first and foremost your child. And when the evening comes and the shadows grow long, let me look back on this day with a heart full of gratitude, knowing that I haven't walked a single inch of it without your presence guiding my way. I place my life, my breath, and my soul into your keeping, trusting that you are the good shepherd who knows exactly where the green pastures are. I am ready to live this day for your glory, walking in the light of your love and finding my purpose in every single heartbeat, resting in the absolute certainty that you are enough for me. Father in heaven, thank you for this dialogue, this connection, and this holy moment that has anchored my soul for what lies ahead. I step out now with my head held high and my heart at peace, knowing that you are my Father, my Savior, and my constant companion on this beautiful journey called life. My dear Lord, as I move through the encounters of this day, let me be a bridge where there is a divide and a light where there is darkness. May my actions speak louder than my words of the hope that is within me, and may I never forget that the greatest purpose I have is to love as I have been loved by you. Jesus, I surrender the final outcome of this day to you, knowing that even if things don't go as I hoped, you are still good and your plan is still perfect. I am content to be your servant, happy to be your friend, and honored to be your witness in a world that so desperately needs to see the clarity of your truth. My King, I lean into you one last time before the world takes my attention, drawing from your well of infinite grace. I am not afraid of what lies ahead, because I know who is walking behind me, beside me, and before me. And in that knowledge, I find the strength to face anything with a smile and a spirit of deep, abiding trust. Father, let this prayer be a lingering fragrance in my heart all day long, a reminder of the sweetness of your presence that I can return to whenever I feel the world pressing in. I give you my all. I give you my everything, and I trust you to do more with my life than I could ever ask or imagine, for the sake of your holy name. Amen.